残酷な天使のように少年よ失わになれ青い風が今胸のドアを叩いても私だけをただ見つめて微笑んでるあなたそっと触れるもの求めることに夢中でイメージさえまだ知らない痛いけない瞳だけどいつか気づくでしょうその背中には遥か未来目指すための羽があること残酷な天使の手勢窓辺からやがて飛び立つほとばしる熱いパトスで思い出を裏切るならこの空を抱いた輝く少年よ失わになれ
You see as the television screen hums to life.
As various lights and other elements come flashing across the screen in popping ads, and letters that exaggerate phrases like life and survival. It isn't long before a poppy intro song is played, and a small and thin, blonde-haired girl appears on the screen. She has a high-pitched voice, and always yells what she is saying.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Festival of Life. We take a moment out of our years of hard work to celebrate our ongoing peacetime. For 15 years, we have strived in order to bring eternal peace to the bastion of hope known as Tokyo 4. We exist as the brightest and last remnant that humanity has to offer. But we have already pushed our boundaries and expanded life way beyond our spectrum. And with the angels defeated for 15 years, it's hard on days like these to see anything but a bright future.
The crowd roars in agreement, and the echoes of humanity's cry of joy and happiness sound throughout Tokyo 4. The girl brings a finger to her mouth in order to hush the audience. While it takes a few moments for the crowd to settle down, eventually they do.
However, one must not forget who won us this freedom. The Eva unit stands as our ultimate defense in order to defend us from a future involving the angels. Today marks the special day, the next generation of pilots. Our Eva pilots take to their units to take on their destiny of being the beacon of hope Tokyo 4 stands for.
The sounds of cheering pierce even the soundproofing provided by the thick walls of the armored limo that currently was in the middle of the Eigenart-protected motorcade. This is where our story begins. We open on 17-year-old Jazz Vermillion, who sits in a seat looking rather unimpressed with the situation of sitting in a limo for the past 3 hours. Worse than that, stuck in his plug suit, the term coined for any pilot who wishes to interface with an Evangelion. Sitting on his right is also 17-year-old Juno Oakfield, who sits counting the unique letters on each street sign. So far, the record is 8. The energy is vastly different compared to the outside. Who knew that sticking 4 teenagers with barely anything in common might have issues? Across from Juno and Jazz are 2 others. 16-year-old Yoonmi Kim and 17-year-old Calhoun Merrick. It's easy to tell that Yumi is taking this the worst. as she had been constantly shifting in her seat for the past 45 minutes. Her pink plug suit clashing against the others' darker color schemes. A different form of anxiety displays on Calhoun, who can't help but fiddle with his newly acquired emblem, designating him as the newest operations director of the Eigenart Initiative. A manila folder sits on the lap of Calhoun. He has been instructed to go over the proceeding of the day's agenda before the pilots arrive.
Perfect. So, today, the pilots, that's you three, will have your interview on the main stage. Between you three, I am supposed to choose who will be the main one for the interview. Can't really tell. I'll know by the end of this. Then, the pilots will then board their Ava units and proceed to the live exercise area. Exciting, right? Exciting. Yeah, good stuff. The live exercise will begin, and the Evangelion will engage the mock target. Then the live exercise will conclude, and the team will return to base. Does that sound like a pretty clear agenda?
I think so.
You and me, you seem apprehensive. Is there anything I need to go over the agenda that you might need to hold together?
No. I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Oh. Juno, you seem pretty confident.
I would say I'm more neutral than confident, but sure.
That leaves Jazz. How are you feeling?
I'm good. We're just talking to people.
Talking to people. Okay, perfect. Well, great. Is there anyone feeling certain type of way to being the main focus of this interview, or do you think you should trust me as your commander?
You the boss.
I'm much more confident in my abilities to do a demonstration than I am talking.
I've never spoken in front of a large crowd before.
Interesting. All right. Well, I will designate as me as a... And Jazz, Unit 110. I don't see myself as your boss. More so as like a guide for you on the field and off the field to make sure that you make the proper choices.
Oh, like a boss.
If you like to see it that way, then yes, like a boss.
I do believe that's how the hierarchy at Eingard is structured.
Some people have their ways of making sure that things get done in Eigenart, but I have my own kind of, we'll call them instructions, guidelines that help see results. Part of the reason why I was picked for this program.
You're kind of like our senpai.
Sure, if that's what you would like to call. Sure, you and me. Sure, if that makes you feel comfortable. All right. The interviews will be spread across all three of you, but I think just for the boosting of confidence, Jazz should be leading this whole thing. On stage. We'll see how things shake out on the field. Just remember, you were chosen for a reason. Right?
Yeah. We did the thing, and we did it good.
Did it, and you did it good.
We can do it.
Like I said, I am confident in my abilities as a pilot.
Perfect. Well, just listen to me, and things should go swimmingly.
Now, am I correct in assuming that, just to confirm, Calhoun is sending Jazz Vermillion as the main subject of the interview?
Indeed. It seems that Jazz's confidence in his abilities to speak in front of people, as well as his confidence within his own Ava unit, should shine through the interview, making him an excellent subject.
Jazz, how do you feel about this?
It's whatever. We just need to talk to the people, get in the Avas and get busy, right?
And just like that, with the agenda set by Calhoun, the limo pulls to a stop. The intensity of the crowd is starting to get louder even through the noise-dampening walls of the limo. You hear several men stand outside as the main doors opened. The cacophonous roar of the crowd is heard even more clearly. It is, dare I say, even deafening. And as one by one you get out, you can see the flashes of light as flash photography goes off in your face, taking pictures of the three of you pilots in every which way and angle. Loads of questions being launched your way, with the Igonart soldiers doing their absolute best to keep them at bay, and even to the point of forcibly shoving a few of the paparazzis back to keep them behind the barricade. It is not every day the citizens of Tokyo 4 get to see an Evangelion launch. Now, as you're brought up onto that stage, that makeshift stage that has been set and designated, specially by Argonart, the three of you pilots, and well, four of you can still see, the three Evangelion units. Unit 110, crimson, red, black, looking more like a samurai than anything else. A more angled design. Unit 108, designated B, is more of a blockier and rudimentary and more traditional Evangelion unit. And last but not least, Unit 106 stands a fresh paint job of pink and yellow adorn the Evangelion. This one looks more inclined, most like the traditional Evangelion units that the crowd has seen or learned of in the past. As you're brought up for questions, you can see there are 3 chairs that have been set out, and then finally the interviewer's chair. As you see that bubbly, blonde, pop starish girl that was mentioned in the introduction, she comes over behind stage and she looks to all of you and goes,
It's so great to meet you. Now, I don't know how well versed you are with interviews, but just follow my lead. It's just going to be a quick couple of questions, and then we'll be letting you go. We don't want to have to hold up the celebration any longer than we have to.
Of course. Do you mind if I speak with my team right before the interview, just to make sure that everybody's good to go?
and she looks back to the crowd, kind of peeking behind the curtain, and then back to you.
Yes, you have... How much...
And looks over to the assistant, and the assistant goes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Perfect. I won't need much more than that. Thank you so much.
Calhoun Merrick, what do you talk to your team about?
Very quickly, Calhoun turns and looks at the 3 of them and goes, okay, just like the game plan, folks. I know that you're not excited to be in your plug suits, but everybody wants to see what you look like in battle, okay? They want to get to know you. They want to let your personality shine through more than just a giant, mechanized warrior capable of destroying angels and things of that nature, correct? So just be sure to smile, make yourself approachable, but don't give them too much information now. Leave them wanting more, is a statement that is to be said. And trust, on the stage, Jazz has the lead on this, but if at any point you see that the questions become a little bit too tough for Jazz to manage, don't be afraid to just step in and take one for the team.
Understood.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Yinmei and Juno. Jazz, you got this. And I would like to utilize my move, Take Command. So, if ever my friends follow my commands directly, they add a +1 modification to their dice pools.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, with that pep talk out of the way, are our pilots prepared.
As ready as I can be.
Then we get started. You come out, seating Jazz in the first seat, you and me in the second, and Juno, who seems to be the least bubbly and a widely understood fact by the rest of the crew, that they decide to seat her last. Calhoun, you were not given a seat. As a pilot, you are not expected to sit on the stage, and instead, you are kindly but sternly asked to remain backstage and observe.
Calhoun thinks about protesting at first, thinking that it would be much better for his team to be able to see him right there alongside them, but then realizes his place and just nods.
The interview begins as the crowd cheers seeing you once more, and the blonde-haired interviewer kind of calms everyone down once again. An expert mastery of crowd control and mob mentality for sure.
Now, this interview is not set to be too long, but before we witness the launch of the new Evangelion series, I'm proud to introduce and be able to sit down and talk with my amazing 3 pilots, your heroes of Tokyo 4.
And the crowd goes absolutely wild. You can see there seems to be a fan club of some sort of people wearing apparently bootleg Jazz Vermillion merchandise in terms of shirts, hoodies, hats. Jazz, as far as you can tell, you have never signed a merchandising deal in your life and will not be receiving any of those profits to come. There is scattered support as well for Yunmi and Juno, more subtle merchandising, and there is one person that seems to be from your class, from your school, that has a sign up in the way back that says, "Congratulations, Calhoun." Now, the interviewer turns to you.
Jazz Vermillion, I am so excited to sit down with you today. How are you feeling on this momentous occasion?
Honestly, I'm really excited. Really excited.
Of course, I mean, you, 17 years old, designated already by the people, squad leader of the new Evangelion flight? I mean, that's gotta be amazing. That's gotta be great. Now I gotta say, how does it feel to be just an Evangelion pilot? Like, give us the deets. You're a fans who want to know.
First off, I'm glad I'm seen as the people's champ. That's pretty great. But it's fun piloting enabling, but these suits, they aren't the best.
No, you have an issue with the plug suits.
Not necessarily the plug suit itself, just being tightly combined in a full suit.
Understandable. There is almost a sense of, how it's say, duty putting on that suit, I can assume. Not many people would be able to wear such a prestigious uniform.
Yeah. You could say there's a lot of weight to it.
Now, minds want to know, because we've seen your bad boy antics off the Eigenar base. We know of your time, at the academy. We've interviewed some of your friends, and what the people want to know is, do you name your Evangelion? Does your Evangelion have a name? That beautiful Unit 110 in that crimson shade.
Yeah, I did name it. But you'll have to wait.
Ooh, and as the interviewer kind of goes with that, the rest of the crowd claps and such.
Now, I'm going to focus on one of your teammates for a second, but I'll be right back to you, Jazz. Speaking to Yoonmi Kim, the youngest member of the Evangelion flight squad unit, I need to ask, how does it feel operating on such a prestigious team, being a part of something like this?
It's great as long as I have up Jazz and Uni. I'm fine. I never feel like I'm going to throw up at all.
Well, I'm glad that you're not throwing up. That
Oh, and the crowd looks right and kind of go.
Well, I'll move on to one of your other teammates then for a sec. Give you a little braver. Nervous jitters. Isn't she relatable, people?
And everyone starts clapping for this obviously charlatan act of, as it were, appeasing the sponsors.
Now, Juno Oakfield, there is little to be read about you or even seen. You don't have the bubbly personality as Yumi or the cool and bad boy antics of Jazz Vermillion, but some might say you are the coolest and calmest collected member of the team. Now, I have to ask, in your favor, who is the strongest pilot on the team?
Do you mean by sheer strength alone? Because that is a calculation that can be made. Otherwise, we all have our own strengths as a normal team.
Just baseline calculation on strength alone. Who has the best piloting ability?
Oh, best piloting ability is an unfair category, and that's very much a subjective question. That's not a calculation that can be made. I thought you meant by mech strength alone.
Then by mech strength alone, then, Juno. Who has the strongest Evangelion?
The crowd. Everyone turns to look at you and me as you try to keep it together. Now, I do ask, and I won't make you roll for this. Does Yumi Kim keep it together on the stage?
Not at all.
As you go to answer that question, Juno Oakfield, Yumi Kim, beside you, leans over and begins to eject the contents of her breakfast all over on the stage.
Juno actually reaches over and lightly pats you and me on the back while it's happening.
A producer quickly gets over, the crew comes over and begins to escort you and me off the stage. And the interviewer looks and goes,
Pre-flight jitters, it's common to all of us. And that's why you should, thankfully to our sponsors, Seltzer Co., selling tummy-abiding seltzer wherever you go.
And you could already see the tweets and social media piling up as they say, this was just a stunt to sell more seltzer tabs and whatnot. And the interviewer quickly turns back to Jazz.
Final question, and I think this is the spiciest one on everyone's mind. It's what your adoring fan base wants to know. Is there a attached component to Jazz Vermillion? An attached person? A romantic partner?
No.
So Jazz Vermillion is single, everyone, and...
the crowd is hollering and...
Well, I think that's it. The future looks bright thanks to these strapping 3 pilots who are taking the world on their shoulders.
Calhoun, as you sit off to the side of the stage, you see Yumi getting brought back.
You mean what happened out there?
I'm not good with big crowds.
You're not good. Well, good thing you're a pilot. You don't have to deal with big crowds, okay? But we just need to make sure that if you're gonna be doing this, you gotta keep things in, Maybe, just drink more water. Stay hydrated. Don't look at the crowd so much. Kind of find a focus point and kind of stick with it.
I did. I really did. I was even looking at the old lady that shaved her head like it was really shiny.
How about we find something less shiny next time to focus on than you and me?
Okay.
You did great otherwise, okay? I'm sure we won't get ticked too many points off of a score. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine. I'll just deal with it. Go drink some water. Go feel better. Maybe have some seltzer. Not too much, though, okay? I don't want you having another reaction during the live fire exercise.
Live fire?
Test exercise, I meant. The test exercise. It's a dummy. Mock.
Oh, okay. That sounds fun.
It'll be great fun. You'll have a great time.
Excellent. Juno and Jazz quickly rejoin the rest of the pilots in Calhoun.
Good job, you two, on leaving a little bit more to be wondered. Next time, if somebody asks anything about specifications of which Ava unit is stronger, who's the better pilot, just tell them to watch the live fire exercises or kind of speculate on themselves. They'll find out eventually. That kind of thing, you know?
I don't believe she was actually trying to ask a mathematical question. That was a subjective question.
Reporters like subjective questions, and they like to put them as actual truth. But just, play along a little bit. Just have some fun with them. Try to see how you could dissect what they are really looking for.
I can do my best.
That's all I ask, Juno. Otherwise, great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Of course. Jazz, how do you feel after that interview?
I just answered the questions, man.
Uh-huh. Have you thought up a name for your unit yet?
Yeah, it's dissonance.
Dissonance?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get with marketing and R&D on that and see if that's how that actually tracks with audiences. Test audiences will have them on an NDA. Dissonance, it sounds okay, but I'm worried with the amount of soft consonants within it that it's going to cause a problem for people to get it. I'll do my best for that. All right. Well, that is step 1 on our agenda. Let me go ahead and mark it off here. Pilots will have interview on the main stage. Check. Perfect. Next, we're going to do the boarding of the Ava units and then going to the live exercise area. Right?
Calhoun is correct. Calhoun, you can see the Evangelions have been situated on this prefabbed wall that has been built to serve as a mobile launch state. The Evangelion units will be boarded, the sequence will begin, and then they will be launched towards the shore where the live exercise will be taking place. Now, instead of Calhoun going back to base, you see one of the operatives come over to collect you. Captain Merrick, we have prepared the helicopter.
Perfect. I won't be giving instructions from operations?
No, we need to proceed with the media coverage of the live exercises. It was the command's insinuation that you at least be present physically.
So I won't have the board at my fingertips. I'll have to just be present and direct from a helicopter?
Yes, you will have a link up to base. As you see, the helicopter that you are in has one of those kind of onboard phones that that you've seen that is a direct patch back to Eigenart.
Perfect. Okay, well, at least we'll have a connection to Eigenart. Then I'll be able to showcase some different things that we have to support our Ava units. Though I'm sure they're not going to need it. I mean, just look at these three. They're built for combat.
Built for combat. The three pilots, you can see 3 different service elevators. The kind of industrial ones that go up on the graded sides that you can still see the outside of where you're rising, each ascending up to the launch platforms where you will be boarding the entry plug that will be initiated into the Evangelion units. You were instructed by the operatives to take your place. The 3 of you. Oh, Calhoun.
Yes.
Do you have something to say?
I just want to say, remember, it's just like the simulations. You're going to go in, take care of it. Remember to just let it all kind of envelop you, right? Just envelop. And then try to do things. It takes patience, okay? Don't try to speed through things. No rushing, Jazz.
All right, boss.
Perfect. I'm going to be on a helicopter. I'll have a direct link to you all, but don't worry. I'll be with you every step of the way.
You see as Calhoun Merrick enters into the helicopter with the familiar Igonart logo on the side, and the rotary blades begin to churn as liftoff is quickly achieved. Calhoun, are you quite experienced with flying?
Well, I've been on a couple helicopters before in a plane. I'm not originally from Tokyo 4. My family's not. We came here from farther away, but it's not important right now. But yeah, I would say I'm pretty comfortable with flying, not piloting, but flying. I don't get airsick.
You feel your stomach lurch as the helicopter takes quick banks and turns to quickly get out of the audience. A few members of the crowd pointing to your helicopter as it ascends into the sky, leaving the area. But not as many as the amount of eyes that are currently on the 3 towering mechs that are the Eva units. Each pilot is taking their own separate elevator, but able to watch as one another ascends up several feet into the air. You are left with several seconds, almost a full minute of hang time as the elevator brings you up that 80 or so meters. It's a lot to think about. When the elevators give a lurch, showing that they have reached their destination, and the doors open with a clatter, you can see off the railing area 80 meters down the crowd looking like ants. The Evangelion units are as tall as skyscrapers, if not slightly taller. You are but a flea compared to these great mighty beasts. The entry plug lays exposed, open, ready for you. What are your last thoughts and moments before you get into the entry plug? Juno.
Juno is just running through the procedures of firing her sniper rifle. Like, literally, she's just running the procedure of, like, whatever demo they're gonna do. I'm just repeating the steps meticulously.
Over and over in your head like a well-calculated machine. Jazz.
Jazz is thinking about if he can get some flashy shit off in this exercise.
A thought process that is definitely met as you can see the weapons they have armed your Ava unit with. Now, much people do not know about the armament of Unit 110 just yet, but in a skew of traditional guns, Unit 110 instead just a more traditional weaponry, fitting with its samurai-like frame. And finally, Yunmei.
Senpai said fire.
As you each climb into the dark lit entry plugs, the lights coming on, and you situate in your chairs, the cockpit looking more almost like a sickly green to it. And you can see one of the operatives turn to you, Calhoun, as you're connected into Igonart main command. Is it time to begin launch sequence, Captain?
As long as our 3 pilots are ready to roll and they're in their entry plugs, and I believe we can begin our launch sequence, yeah. Is everybody here ready?
Yes.
You can hear the machinery start to kick up as the Evangelion units prepare to fire. A voice coming across your communications, Calhoun. 3rd cooling cycle complete.
Unlock the connectors.
Unlocking the connectors.
Auxiliary power status.
Auxiliary power on.
Let's begin umbilical docking.
Roger, inserting entry plugs. As the entry plugs begin to turn as they are inserted into the spinal base of each Evangelion unit, you feel, the 3 pilots feel the lurching as they are moved snugly, begin to interface with their Evangelion units. large circular holes begin to open up all around you. Roger, inserting entry plugs, unlocking spinal conductive network.
Prepare for connections.
Probe needle insertion complete.
Excellent. Establish prime sync.
Prime sync established. As you can see, all around you, within the entry plug, there is flashes of languages. Of your native language of Japanese begins to flash erratically across the screen. As your sync rate is displayed, you are up to about low 70s, maybe high 60s, depending on how nervous you are currently. Prime sync established. Psychological corruption values within acceptable range. Locking down interior array as you feel the clamps come down on the entry plug.
Go ahead and begin contact.
Roger, starting contact. Main source connection complete.
Roger, prepare for launch.
Prepare for launch. Releasing primary lock bolts. You feel one of the locks slide out as your Evangelion drops just at about a half an inch. Releasing to the secondary lock bolts. Captain?
Remove restraints.
The restraints fully removing as you feel the Eva units finally free but still unmoving. Removing primary restraints. Proceeding to remove secondary restraints. Unit 008B, Unit 110, and Unit 106 are now free.
Power status.
Internal power supply fully charged. No problems of external power sockets. Initializing LCL ionization. As the holes begin to flood the entry plug with a orange amber-like liquid. The water cool, almost not even cool, lukewarm temperature as it begins pooling at your feet and quickly fills up to contain your body completely as it goes over your head. This is a exercise you may have done numerous amount of times. The LCL is a breathable liquid that allows for a better sync rate to the Eva units that allows you to directly interface with them. However, to someone that is fearful of the LCL, this might feel like you were drowning before your body gets used to it. But eventually, each one of you takes that deep breath and inhales as the LCL fills your lungs, settling you in. Units moving to K51, K52, and K53. As you see your tracks begin to line up for the Evangelion, your main power has turned on. The Eva unit displays as the screens around you make a shimmering noise, and you can see the outside area. You can see the nice setting of the sun, that beautiful kind of twilight hour, and you can see the shoreline just on the horizon ahead of you. A massive forest spawning between you, the city outer limits, and the shore. Evas have arrived at the launch terminal hub. Orders?
All right, people, just like the simulations. Launch.
And you can feel as you are jolted forward, and you begin to press up on your controls. Your Evangelion units moving one step at a time before picking up speed. And then you take off into a burst of speed running as you feel more free in these Evangelion units than you ever have in the simulation. You can see the ping on the screen showing you where to go for the live exercise. There's no shenanigans on the way there, Calhoun. As you quickly trail behind in the helicopter, the cameraman, an Eigenart paid official, is recording the moments as you can hear the last dying echo of the crowd as they watch the events unfold, the Evangelion units spurring towards the live exercise.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Oh yeah, this is great. I've been doing this for 10 years, and let me tell you, it never gets less cooler than this.
Excellent. Let's make sure that we focus a little bit on how tight their formation is, and let's get good angles. If we can get a good sideline, like a Roadrunner view right beside their sideline, be perfect.
Of course. And you can see the pilot, them relaying the orders to the pilot as the helicopter begins to pick up speed and bank. It's hard to keep in the miles per hour that the Evangelions move at. The helicopter is not as fast as them, but you do manage to get a nice side view or side slant view as you see them coming up. Their formations, Calhoun, they could be a little better.
Gonna go ahead and go over the comms. All right, you three, Unit 108B, Unit 106, Unit 110, you're all looking great. Movement is good. Speed is nominal. Let's go ahead and tighten up that formation, okay? We'll be ready to spread out once the exercise begins, okay?
Yeah, boss.
Roger.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, Roger. Okie dokie. Okay, great. But remember what you're doing it for, and break a leg, gang.
Breaking a leg sounds like it would be counterproductive.
It was just a figure of speech, Juno.
Understood.
Who is taking squad leader position as you try to fall into the standard triangle approach?
Jazz falls back to let anybody else try and take it.
I guess you mean, well, she's ready to go. She's right up front.
You mean, despite being the one nervous during the interview to the point of throwing up, you easily push your Evangelion forward as you take the lead formation. Your weapons ready as you can feel the power at your hip, the hand cannon hanging off your side, as well as the frog knife that lies on your other side. We go back as we see Juno and Jazz running up alongside them. The shoreline quickly coming into view. The shoreline is not completely flat. There are rocky outgrowths and cliffs, as well as other areas that have littered it, being somewhat of a rocky formation. You're not sure if this is naturally occurring or this was something set up for the live exercise, but it is here and it is now. The crew reports back to you, Calhoun. AV units are moving according to expectation. There is no drop. We are looking good so far, Captain.
All right, everything in the field looking clear?
Everything in the field is clear. Are we ready to launch the mock targets?
Just want to make sure that we have Morningstar, the termites, and stun mines ready, just in case.
Of course. Do you anticipate there will be any issues with the Evangelions, Captain?
I always anticipate there'll be issues. That's why I'm in this chair. Or helicopter.
The media outlet official laughs, saying, "Kid, I know you're running the show here, but there hasn't been an angel sighted for over 15 years, okay? They're dead and gone. And without them, there is nothing that can destroy an Evangelion."
We'll just have to see about that. Well,
with that ominous threat present, do you launch the mock targets, Calhoun?
yeah, Calhoun goes ahead and gets in close to the mic and says, "Go ahead and launch the marked target."
Launching mock targets, Captain. As we quickly flash to the operatives back of the Eigenar base, typing furiously on the keyboards as they begin the launch sequence and they power up the mock targets. Revealed from the rocky cover as the three pilots arrive at the shoreline. Emerging are three bipedal-like beasts that resemble an Ava unit. These units, however, are all very similar looking. Stark white with accents of black, and large eyeless bird-like heads. You can see they all carry a standard issue Ava weapon type rifle in their hands as they begin to move almost robotic-like, without fluidity, as if being controlled by a program. Captain, begin the exercise whenever you can.
All right, you three. Targets are brought on the horizon. Show them what you got. They're going to spring to life in 3, 2, 1.
I would like everyone to roll me 1d6 plus your agility, that is.
Okay.
I was about to say.
Excellent. So, anyone over 10?
Yeah.
What did you rate,
12.
Jazz? Jazz at 12. Anyone at 10? Juno at 10. You and me, what did you roll?
9.
you and me at 9, which means these mock targets, the 3 of them, will be acting last in initiative order. Jazz Vermillion, you are up. You are primed to engage.
All right. Jazz runs up to one of the marked targets, and as he's running, he slides and crouches, grabs his blade, and swipes at the knees of one of the marked targets.
Excellent. Please go ahead and roll me your strength plus close combat, please. You are looking for 6s. A 6 is a success. Let me know how many successes you are able to roll. You only need 1 success to inflict damage, but the addition of more successes will always be good.
1 success. I got 1.
1 success.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is still enough to do damage. And you are attacking with your katana? Awesome. Trouble indeed. Go ahead. Oh, treble. Treble is trouble. Roll me 2d4 damage, please. As I believe that is medium.
That's a 5.
5 damage total?
Yeah.
Amazing. As you come in and you slice across the first one, Jazz, you can see the blade flashes in a slice of lightning fast, and the mock target is struck across the chest, leaving a deep cut behind as machinery and oil begins to spill out of it. For whatever reason, when the Evangelion units are created, because of the amount of whether chemical agents that they are using, the oil almost appears as blood spilling out of them. The mock target is taken aback, but it is not down, looking incredibly injured, however. Next up, Juno Oakfield. You are primed to engage.
Juno definitely wants to set up their sniper rifle.
So you were spending the turn to set up your concentrating tag of your sniper rifle?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Unit 108 spends their turn setting up the shot, as it were, allowing the rifle to unfold, the kind of supports to plant into one of the nearby rocks, and begins to take aim. That is something that will occur on Juno's next turn. We go to Yunmi.
Yunmi is positioning herself. She's getting ready to shoot. As she's about to shoot, she tells them, remember guys, Senpai said fire.
And what weapon are you shooting with? I'm assuming you're shooting with the hand cannon.
Yes.
Awesome. Please roll me your agility plus range combat.
2.
2d6s. Excellent. Now, with that other d6, with that other success, you only need 1 to hit. That other success can be converted to damage if you'd like.
Yes.
Awesome. So you'll deal an extra point of damage this turn as well on your attack. Go ahead and roll your damage, please. Which I believe, is it a medium weapon or is it heavy damage?
Medium.
Medium. Then roll me 2d4 is what we're looking for. 4. Awesome. 4 damage. Plus 1, so 5. Exactly like the katana slash. As you fire onto the second marked target, you watch as the shot goes clear and cleanly blows apart one of its arms. The tiny pistol packing one hell of a punch. So much so that Unit 106 is blasted back onto their rear as they are sent prone due to the specifications of their weapons. Calhoun, the force of the shot actually causes your helicopter to have to bank away as the shockwave rings through from how powerful it is. The noise is so loud even with the dampening headphones on, as the great beasts are somehow agile and hit the ground.
Just looks at the media guy and goes, yeah?
The media guy looks over to you, giving you a thumbs up.
Keep it up, team.
The one that Jazz Vermillion attacked looks up at Unit 110, producing a prog knife as well, and goes to attempt to attack. rolling their close combat plus their strength. They rolled no successes. So because of that,
Dodge.
you watch as the knife goes through and attempts to attack you several times, but Unit 110 dances around, not allowing themselves to be hit. The second target that was injured by Yunmi comes to life and takes aim at 106. Their rifle levied as they fire, using their agility and range combat. They score 1 success. Yunmi, you are going to take 2d4 worth of damage from them. You receive 5 points of damage in return as you feel the peppering of the assault fire going on. Except, do not subtract that from your armor, as you realize their bullets are merely tracers, and you can see the simulated health as you are brought down by 5 points. But your Evangelion remains unscathed. It's a shame, really, that these mock targets don't even have a chance to actually inflict damage on you.
That was cute.
The thought that this is the most combat the three of you will most likely ever see. We go around with one more, who attempts to take aim once more at Jazz, aiming and levying their assault rifle, the third one that has not been chosen yet, that has not been upraised yet, as I should say. They go to take fire. This is an exceptional success as they rolled 3 successes. They're going to do their 2d4 worth of damage plus 2. Total, you take 6 points of damage. But yet again, the fire, the knife, none of the weapons on the mark target are real, as you see your simulation. Your armor being actually 6, I believe. So you see as Jazz Vermillion Calhoun hits 0 on the simulation, and the Evangelion blares red, the mock emergency signal, as they are taken out by one of the mock targets. But obviously, Jazz, you are still able to move.
Jazz, speak to me. What happened?
The fucker pulled up with an assault rifle.
Okay, well, that's gonna happen. Remember the Sims, okay? Don't be too blatant. Don't show them your left side, okay? Keep it up.
The phrase, "that's going to happen," it elicits a chuckle from the pilot and everyone else on board. As if, when would that ever happen?
Right.
We go around to the top of initiative, which would be Jazz, but Jazz is forced to sit on the sideline, merely tapping their foot as the mock target battle continues on. Juno, you are ready to fire.
Yeah, Juno wants to shoot at the one that the one that Jazz was attacking earlier that's like really injured.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your agility plus range combat, please.
Okay. That is 1-6.
Excellent. 1 success worth of damage. Go ahead and roll me, I believe it is a heavy weapon damage.
No, it's a medium.
Oh, is it a medium? Okay, I apologize.
So is that 2d4?
Yes.
That's 6.
Amazing. In a concentrated fire, as the sniper bullet leaves the gun, you don't even see it travel, as you see a huge chunk as the marked target from head all the way to base, almost to their torso, is blown apart and completely destroyed. The marked target falling amongst the rocks, as you can see the cameraman looking onward going, "Holy hell, that's a hell of a shot she's got."
That's right. That's 108B, right in action. Tell me, did you get a shot of that? Did you get like a really good shot of the explosion?
Oh yeah, I saw that puppy burst apart.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Good job, Oakfield.
Yes, sir.
Yunmei, there are still 2 mock targets remaining. One is incredibly injured, one has not been touched.
Well, I guess it's time to say goodbye. And she gets her knife to go for the injured one.
Standing up slowly, Yunmi steps up, now in the face of one that she injured prior, and begins to take a target with her knife, her prog knife. Go ahead and roll me close combat plus strength. I believe this is more to your expertise. The fistful of dice fly through the air. 5 successes. Amazing. I won't even have you roll damage because there is quite possibly no way that this could survive it. In fact, I think when that happens, you manage something that is more for stunt and flavor. You manage to stab the mock target and continue the momentum, inflicting additional damage to the perfectly healthy target. And in one maneuver, you shish kebab both of them. A certain collateral damage, as it were. Chaos reigns, and you slam both targets into the ground as they explode outward, ceasing to move and function. All 3 muck targets are down.
Opa, did you see what I did? Jess, did you see what I did?
Yeah, good shit.
Yay.
All right, that's 3 KIAs on the opposing team. That's a good job, units.
Thank you, sir.
That was excellent. You see the media guy picking up.
Perfect. We got everything we need for this?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can start calling them back to base.
All right. Unit 108B, Unit 106, Unit 110, go ahead and move those Evas back to the launch area. Let's go ahead and get ready for debrief.
The victory appears to be our pilots for the day. For Juno, this would be a comforting sight. If it were not the hair standing up on the back of her neck. As her sight turns towards the ocean. Suddenly, multiple alerts go off across the screen of the Eva units, and you can see the chaoticness of Eigenarch Command start coming through the readings, Calhoun.
Sir, I think I have a visual.
You feel the helicopter bank away from the shore, beginning as the alert signs off, designating that the base is desperately trying to reach you. The operative in charge holds the phone out to him.
Yeah, go ahead. Patching through. This is Captain Merrick.
Captain Merrick, we have identified several seismic anomalies coming from the ocean. We are also observing that the sink rates of the Eva units are raising steadily.
Okay, so talk to me here. Is this, are we talking about some kind of testing for live firing for missiles, defenses for the command center? What do you got here?
The other units can see what Juno is talking about as they find their sight drawn towards the ocean. They can see that their Eva units their sink rates begin to raise steadily. Sir, we're identifying a pattern blue, but that can't be possible, right?
What are you talking about, a pattern blue, all right? What I'm telling you is, go ahead.
That would mean it's the pilots hear a loud noise that sounds through the entire area as they see a visible shockwave spread across the waves. Alerts blare in their mind for a moment and then cease. Attention drawn as a light explodes from the ocean. It bathes the area in a large wave cascades from the point of escape. You can hear several electronic instruments shorting out, including that of the media official's camera. As the light dies down, you can see all the form the light has taken. Sleek black matte skin with colored blue highlights, flashing across its black coat. The creature resembling something akin to a manta ray, its large wingspan followed by a long serpentine-like body, making it resemble something that's never been seen before. It's easily 4 Eva units length and wingspan. Its mouth has a cool blue light as it adjusts its head and heads towards your direction. Effortlessly, it glides through the air, approaching the shore at high speed, the base screaming, "It's an angel!"
An angel. Okay, an angel. I'll be prepared for this. Pattern blue. An angel looks at the people on the helicopter. They're standing by and saying, "It's an angel."
Holy shit! And the pilot and the immediate official are like, "What the?" And you can see the helicopter begins to make a full retreat.
What are you doing? My team's out there. My team's out there in the field.
Sir, we have to get you back. This is not. If we take a single hit from that thing, we are going down.
Okay, I need to get back to the command base. I need to get everybody online. I'm going to try to open up a comm for me so I can get connected to the command base at Tokyo 4. I need Eigenart on the line right now.
You have Eigenart on line 1, and you have the pilots on line 2.
All right, I'm going to flip to line 2 real quick. I'm going to say, all right, you three, Unit 108B, Unit 106, Unit 110, you know what time it is, okay? This is not a test exercise. This is a live skirmish, what we've been preparing for, okay?
Sir, that's an angel.
That is absolutely an angel. That is correct. And what are you three?
Angel killers.
Eva pilots?
Exactly. The bane of angels, okay? So be sure to get out there and do your best. Do what you're built to do. I'm going to be making my way back to the command base. I'm going to have it full online, the full support of you, anything that you need, okay?
Understood.
Gotcha.
Just remember what we trained about. Remember what we talked about, okay?
Yes, sir.
And Jazz, watch after your left side.
Gotcha.
Perfect. This is not a test. This is not a drill. From now on, any damage taken will be live to your armor, and hitting 0 will result in actual Evangelion partial destruction. Can you please roll me 1d6 plus your agility, please, for initiative?
11.
Excellent.
Aye.
So, who has above 10? Jazz? At 11. The angel will go next. Juno, what did you get?
7.
And what did you get, Yunmi?
Aye.
And I got 4 for the command base.
Excellent. It's time. The angel is still fairly far away, Jazz. Even if you were to attempt to run to it on this round, you would not be able to reach it.
Right.
As it is still out within the ocean itself, soaring quickly towards the two of you, or to the three of you, I should say. What do you do?
All right. Is there like a rock structure that I can take cover behind?
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. So, what that allows you to do by taking cover is that you can give yourself additional armor, essentially. Basically, get a extra barrier between you and the enemy, which will allow you to roll damage, kind of lessen the damage that comes across. So, Jazz Vermillion, Unit 110, move into cover. Your katana ready in your hand. Moving down to the angel. The forefront is Yunmi, correct still? You watch as this thing begins to charge, as it soars. Its wings almost razor-like in its protrusions. It is not going to reach you this turn, but it is speeding towards you like a bullet. You can see its mouth begins to open, which has been basically split 4 different ways at diagonal points. The humming of its stomach and throat glow an electric blue, and you can see as it fires several bolts towards you. The plasma bolts flying at you as it's going to attempt to pepper you with this, rolling its range combat. It's going to get 1 success and succeed. Yunmi, as you are peppered with the plasma bolts, you take a single point of damage to your armor as you watch smoke begin to rise from Unit 106, but otherwise is looking just fine. Juno, what do you do?
Is Juno's sniper rifle still set up, or had she broken it down?
You would have to rechamber the shot for another one.
Okay, then yeah. They'll do that.
So you use your turn to start rechambering the second of your sniper, using your your time.
Do they have cover where they're at?
The two of you do not have cover currently. Only Jazz does. If you would like to move behind a rock, you can.
Yeah, Juno will set up behind/on cover.
Excellent. You set up behind cover and you rechamber your shot. We go to Yunmi and Weed at 106.
Okay. She is aiming towards the mouth, and she's going to fire.
Firing the hand cannon. Go ahead and roll me your agility plus range combat, please. 3 successes. Awesome. Roll me your medium damage, which is 2d4. And I'm assuming you want to put your extra 2 successes into extra damage?
Yes. So altogether, 10.
10 damage. Excellent. You watch as the angel it attempts to put up a AT field, as it were. Something that the Evangelions have and that the angels have as well. As you see this external kind of bolstering shield push out and attempt to stop the fire as your hand cannon flies through. With the it would normally absorb this, but with the extra damage coming here, you see as its AT field is pierced, as you see the cover around it almost separating for a moment, like breaking through a pane of glass. And you see you score a direct hit on it. It is hurt for sure, as you deal it 10 damage. A most excellent hit. It still is flying in your direction, as the force of the hand cannon again knocks you prone. We go around to Calhoun.
Calhoun's going to go to line 1, contact command base. Command, this is Captain Merrick. I need Morningstar to be prepped and ready just in case. I've got all 3 Ava units are contact with the target. Prime and ready stun mines in the area just in case.
We have target in sight.
Okay. Let's go ahead and try Morningstar, alright?
You're going to fire your super weapon, as it were.
Yes, my primary, the super weapon.
As the large cannon from base begins to aim and take fire. When doing this, you will have to wait several turns before firing it once more.
Absolutely.
Please go ahead and roll me agility plus range combat.
Perfect. It's going to be 5 dice. That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Please roll me your heavy weapon damage. Would you like to convert that second success over to extra damage?
I would.
Awesome.
That's 6 damage. 5 plus 1.
6 damage. It is going to attempt its armor to nullify that, not its AT field.
Perfect.
It reduces the strike by 3 damage, so we're left over with 3 damage coming towards it as it directly impacts the angel.
Excellent. It is important to note that Morningstar has ego field degradation of at least 1.
Its ego field begins to degrade even more. Its AT field, as it were, already being taking damage from you and me breaking it on the previous action.
Perfect. And that has to cool down. So after that large gun goes off, I've got to wait a round to be able to use it again.
The railgun begins its cooldown process, but already doing a well-placed hit onto it. We roll back onto Jazz. Jazz, this thing is now almost on top of you.
Oh, so let's see, almost on top.
You would be able to hit it. Yeah.
Yay, we finna hop out and,
You
big sunny auto slugs.
Unit 110 moves with its katana lightning fast. Go ahead and roll me your attack roll, please.
2 success.
Go ahead and roll your 2d4 plus 1 for converting that extra success. It is going to attempt to use its AT field once more to stop you.
Oh, I saw it got ego degradation.
What is your total damage?
So that is 7.
7 damage. That completely breaks through the AT field again, and with the ego degradation, that goes even further, causing it permanent damage to its AT field, as it takes the full 7 points of damage. You watch as you actually slice through it, a long stream of blood just erupting from it as it pours on you. But now it'll go to its turn. As it charges, missing you and me, who has gone prone as it flies overhead. You see its slice coming in almost like a sword, you and me, but Unit 106 is on the ground, so it isn't in its fire. It slices through towards Jazz and continues as it tries to also fly towards Juno as well, but will not reach Juno this turn. Right? It rolls to attack. It's going to have 3 successes. Now, I have a question. Jazz, would you rather attempt to negate this with your armor, which will, based on a roll, lessen the blow, or would you like to attempt to stop the whole thing with your AT field?
I can't dodge it.
It is coming towards you. They rolled a success, so they will impact.
Okay, cool.
Your AT field, I believe, is 2.
2, yeah, it's 2.
So with the AT field, for everyone back home, it's an all or nothing. Either they're able to put up and take all the damage, or the AT field is completely shattered and they take the full damage. So if they roll more than 2 damage, you will be taking the full brunt of the attack. Whereas the armor will allow you to kind of decrease it, and you might only take a partial bit of the damage.
Let's do that armor, baby.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your armor and d6s. So I believe it's 6, so 6d6.
1 success.
You take 5 points of damage, which is decreased by 1 armor, so you only take 4. So that success, it did lessen the damage for you. As you take 4 points as it slices through your side, almost cutting you in half completely. The angel is fast and quick, and we go around to Juno. Your shot is lined up.
Yep, Juno wants to shoot it.
Go ahead and roll me range combat plus agility, please.
Yep. That's 3 6s?
3 successes, awesome. Would you like to convert the 2 successes over to additional damage?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me your 2d4.
That's 8.
8 damage total. It's going to attempt to lessen that.
My weapon has piercing?
Piercing. Your weapon has the ability to bypass a target's armor. Reduces opposing armor rolls by -1.
Yeah, I have piercing and damage over time on my weapon.
Amazing. So you'll go ahead and it'll have to roll 1 less armor. So it's going to see if it can degrade. What was your total amount of damage?
8.
It's able to reduce that by 3, but it's still going to take that 5 damage as it looks critically injured from that blast, leaking everywhere as it soars past and misses you completely. It makes a echoing and mighty roar that shakes the entire area, the entire shoreline.
Well, I had 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to convert 2 to damage.
Okay, 10 damage total? Okay.
Yeah, because I rolled 8.
Excellent. That is something big that happens. As Juno's shot does a little bit more than I anticipated, as it clearly blows through the shot, making a gigantic hole within the angel. The angel cries out as its body kind of pulls up as it flies towards Juno. Calhoun, you can see that was a fatal blow to the creature. And you smile until the angel lands and wraps its wings directly around Unit 108.
Unit 108, what's happening?
You see Unit 108 as the angel begins to glow with an intense power. And then it utters a final death cry before exploding point blank on 108. The blast as a column of white light explodes out into a cross formation that fills the entire area. Juno, for a second, you are no longer in the Evangelion.
Okay.
You are in a space of white. Your plug suit is gone. You are nude in this area as you feel a kind of warmth as a figure stands before you. And when I say a figure, I do not mean in shadows. I literally mean almost an outline of a figure that begins to morph and change appearance in front of you, going from Jazz to Yunmi to Calhoun to your parent Alex to various other people in your life on a half-second change rotation, so fairly quickly. It looks at you, and you can tell the figure smiles. The real you will cease to exist, and the column spreads out, taking their vision from you as the field is blanketed with light. Calhoun, the last thing you hear is the emergency alert going off in the helicopter, and you shield your eyes. And this is the end of episode 1 of Neon Exodus Evangelion Advent. Thank you for watching, everyone. And please tune in next week and watch the rest of the episodes only on youtube.com/Gehenna Gaming. Thank you, and have a great night.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, in other words, I love you.
On the next episode of Neon Exodus Evangelion.
But I really wanted one of you not to make it through before arriving at the bottom level in a long hallway. Apologies for the sudden and abrupt calling.
I'm not comfortable with you going by yourself.
It's pretty much the answers to everything, every question you might have about the angels.
You couldn't have given me a call? You couldn't have let me know that maybe this was going to be happening?
Why are y'all here? Eigenart is the enemy.